Sat gitsin. Sat sat sat sat.
Sat sat sat sat sat.
Sat sat sat. Bir satmışım. Üf üf üf.
Köpek aslında bizi koruyormuş ama bu kodumun dadısı. Köpeğim beni tehlikenin ortasına attı diye bir seçenek var. Bunlar bayağı öyle görünüyor.
Those were rats from the Kokari wilds. Best not to tell Nan. She's upset enough as it is. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Isle's men.
Tamam değil, sen şeyini yap. Biz de burada lootumuzu yapalım. Ne boku yarıyor lan bu? Aman al.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
Aslında kilerini farelerden korun. Büyük farelerden.
Rats? Not the large grey ones.
They'll rip you to shreds, they will!
See, now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead.
Öldü. Benim sadık savaş köpeğim güvenliği temin
I
etti.
bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with.
Üzüldü lan hayvan.
Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then, take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lord. Now we can get to work.
Aferin oğlum,
That's right,
işte
you
var
two.
o.
Quit standing about.
We will be up very late tonight giving the Arl's men proper quarters.
We will serve you well while the Terry is gone.
Aferin koçum.
Thank you again for your help. Now, if you'll just hold on a moment. Yes? Adney, get moving with those casts.
Hold on.
And Kath, do you think you can serve that to the turn with dirt from the floor all over it?
Miserable old bat.
Aha.
Old bat, am I? We've got to work double time on supper, sweep out the hearths, and no complaining.
Ay kodumun. Onları kamçılamayı denedin mi
There's
hakikaten?
no need for that.
Hadi canım.
Don't think I don't see you there, Kath.
She's got eyes in the back of her head, she does.
Thank you for coming to your old nanny's rescue. That blasted hound is more trouble than he's worth. He is. And don't start with me. You've gotten all you're getting today. But what about you, my lord? Been keeping safe and well behaved, I hope?
Yerinde aslanım yerinde. Yani.
Good. I'm not exactly privy to your goings-on now that you're grown. Just an old nanny, never invited to your father's fancy meetings. Do you remember that bedtime tale I used to tell you, the dog that bit?
Hatırlıyorum.
Good. Then you can start.
Şu üçüncü efsane.
A warhound was born to the elder bitch of a tribal chief. They named him Hahaku, and gave him
Hahaku.
everything. He grew up a fine, strong pup, destined to be the partner of the chief's eldest son. The
Gururlanmaya
young hound
başlamış.
became arrogant, taking food from his kin and warning them, in the way of dogs, that the chief's family would punish them if they tried to attack him. Years passed, and the time for the chief's son to take a warhound came closer. Hahaku's pride swelled, and many of the people of the tribe came to the chief, quietly whispering of this dog's bullying. With each complaint, the chief saw only Hahaku's strength and pride, and sent his people away. But as his son grew, the chief watched more
Ne
closely.
sikim bir
The
hikayedir bu
day
ya.
might come when his boy's life would depend on this dog. If the humblest of his people would not trust Hahaku, how could he?
Bu arada bu oyunu bitirince YouTube Türkiye'de bu oyunu bitirmiş ilk kanal Sat Sat Sat kanalı olacak. Bunu da söylemiş olayım. Twitch'te daha önce birileri bitirmişti ama şimdi ismini tam hatırlayamıyorum ama YouTube'da ilk biz olacağız. Hikaye nasıl devam ediyor lan? Susadım, bir iç yakalayayım. Daha güvenli bir köpek. Daha zayıf bir köpek.
There are many kinds of weakness. You'd do well to remember that. When the day came, Hahaku sat proudly waiting to be called, but the old chief chose Hahaku's brother as his son's hound. Hahaku was shamed, but felt no remorse. So great was his rage that he darted across the fire pit and bit the chief's hand.
Bu bir
The
hataydı.
chief and his son struck at Hahaku, cursing him. The hound ran into the village, seeking shelter in the tents and kennels. The other dogs snapped at him, and the tribe's people threw stones at him. Before the chief
Hata
could
yapmış
reach him,
köpek.
the tribe had torn Hahaku apart. Now, what should you carry from this tale?
Allah abi, bu masaldan ben ne çıkarıyorum? Herkese eşit saygı göster. Taşak mı geçsek şundan? Neyse, gücünü kötüye kullanma.
Exactly. Hahaku took advantage of a position he thought he was entitled to. But you're far too old now for an old woman to be reminding you to watch how you behave.
Abi lan.
Hmm?
Mabarimi Hokaku ile kıyaslamıyorsun değil mi?
It's a story worth repeating. That's all. Be off with you then. Tell your brother farewell before he rides off to war. I can't chatter anymore. I've a whole army to feed and then some. And don't think you two will get away from me anytime soon.
Aa, ne şirret bir karı bu
I
ya.
heard that. I'd beat you black and blue if I didn't need your arms working. Blasted elves.
Evet.
Shall be
Ha,
done.
buraya gelmiştik zaten. Ama. Benim yemek sorunu gibi. Bu arada şu map'e kütüphane var, cart var. Bunlar kim? Videoları var. Kaydedelim. Ben de bir izninizi izleyeceğim hemen, size yansımayacak bile. Tekrardan geldim. Ufak bir şey yapmam gerekiyordu da gittim o yüzden. Bu arada şunu söyleyeyim. Bu ne lan? Videolara kamera da ekleyeceğim de ilk önce kamerayı telefondan çekmem gerekiyor. Çünkü kameram yok.
Good evening, my lord.
Onun için de SD
Good
kart
evening,
lazım.
my lord.
Çünkü hafıza yok. Onu alana kadar kamerasız bir şekilde devam edeceğiz. Bakalım ne zaman alırsam o zaman kamera da ekleyeceğim videolara. Kütüphaneye girdik. Bence cart. Kaydedelim de. Konuşalım.
Hello, my dear boy. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we
Yavermiş
have to?
bunlar.
History is
Şövalye
boring.
yaveri muhtemelen.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands,
Aynen.
the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect.
Abi lan, saygılı olun. Biraz disipline girsinler araya.
Perhaps you could help me with that. Might you join me in teaching this lesson?
Amına bile korup. Elbette seve seve.
Wonderful. Oh, the Cousland history is long indeed. Where shall we start?
Hanedanımızın tarihi uzunmuş. Krallığın kurulmasından önce bile vardık.
Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young
Tarihe
man.
meraklıyız aga. Beni aşağılamanı tavsiye
I
etmem.
expect one who holds sway over the lives of others to keep a sharp mind, as does your father. At any rate, your family has held the tournure of Highever since before King Callan had united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elethea Kusland battled Callan to maintain Highever's independence.
Şu anki kralımızın ailesiyle eskiden savaşmışız. Daha önceden bağımsızmışız. Krala karşı mı çıkmıştık?
The Kuslands are ardent royalists now, but
Aynen,
at
şu
that
an
time,
öyleyiz.
Galahad was unknown and considered dangerous by many. When Galahad's army reached Highever, Tierna Elethea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Galahad won.
Kaybetmişiz savaşı. Kral Kalanat kazanmış. Maalesef. Elimizde olsa bağımsız oluruz anasını satayım. Benim elimde olsa daha doğrusu. Ailemiz ne zaman kuruldu?
Records are vague, but the Kuslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that
Para
familiar,
çağı.
child?
Ha bak size dedim. Hüner sayesinde.
Good.
Kurt adam sardı.
I'm pleased some of my lessons seem to have stuck. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Kusland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern.
Arhav'la olan ilişkilerimizden bahsettim.
The history between the Kuslands and the House reaches back to the Orlesian occupation.
Orleis daha önce Ferelden'i işgal etmiş. İstila etmiş. Ne zaman istila?
During your grandfather's rule. Of course,
Büyük
Orlais
babamız
found it
zamanında
difficult to
istila
hold
edilmişiz.
these lands. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near Highever. The port
Highever,
village of Harper's
bizim
Ford was the
bulunduğumuz
tourneur's center. Its Arl was Tarleton House.
Kale.
Though nearly
Şehrin
90,
ismi daha
he
doğrusu.
was still as
Şu anda.
sharp and bitter as cheap
Kalenin
ale.
bulunduğu şehrin
Your
ismi yani.
grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over.
Hadi canım. Hav Orleis'in tarafındaydı. Aa, o sinir olduğum lavukla daha önce savaşmışız. Ve onların kalesini işgal etmişiz, Harper's Ford'u. Havla aynen bak, Havlar bize bağlıymış. O da hakkımızda.
True, but if you expect to rule simply on writ,
Hakkımızda
you'll
abi.
find yourself ousted by a coalition of angry Arls.
Doğru.
The House eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Logain, just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Kaelan.
Kral
Fight the
Merrick
Darkspawn.
bayağı seviliyormuş. Şu anda Kaelan da seviliyor ama bazıları pek sevmiyor anladığım kadarıyla Kral Kaelan'ı. Merrick'in oğlunu yani.
Thank you for indulging an old
Ne
man.
demek üstaddan tarif.
Does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Eyvallah yani.
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans.
Helal olsun hocam.
Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more
Maaşını yükseltiyorum
distraction.
senin amına koyayım.
I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself for all the good I'm doing.
Ferelden'in soylu aileleri. Kodeks falan okumayacağım. 150 milyon kere okudum.
Why do we have to read
Oynarken,
the way to
oynamak
fight? I
isterseniz
want to learn how to use a
bilirsiniz,
sword.
okursunuz.
Good
Hatta
evening.
anlatıyorum size. Buraymış. Ha. Son bayağı bir ateş varmış aga. Burada kim var lan? Kaydet. Videoyu kısa bir süreliğine durdurdum. Tekrardan başlattım. Bazen olabiliyor böyle şeyler. Takmaya fazla.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais.
Zaten sizi etkilemiyor.
The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my younger son. I take it by the presence of that troublesome hound of yours that the situation in the kitchen is handled.
Köpeğim belalı falan değil benim. Onların kafası patladı ve köpeğim de mutfak hizmetçilerini yedi.
Well, at least one of us will have had a decent dinner. Perhaps your hound left something I can feed my guests. Darling, you remember Lady Landra, Ban Lawrence's wife?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon.
Bu lady'miz kimmiş? Sizi tekrar görmek çok güzel.
You're too kind, dear boy. Didn't I spend half the salon
Yok
shamelessly
artık.
flirting with
Flört
you?
ederek geçirmiş
Right in
toplantının
front of
yarısını.
your family too.
You remember my son, Dyron? I believe you two sparred in the last tourney.
And you beat me handily, as I recall. It's good to see you again, my lord.
Mod bu arada kendini gösteriyor. Yüz ifadeleri orijinal oyundakiyle aynı değil. Şu arkadaki tipi de görürsünüz. Bayağı güzel yapmış mod bunu. Gözler falan 10 numara valla. Sen de öyle.
And this is my lady in waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great honor, my lord. I have heard many wonderful things about you.
Don't look
Ne
now,
kadar güzel
Eleanor,
lan.
but I believe the girl has a crush on your lad.
Oo.
Lady Landra,
Hush, Landra. You'll turn the poor thing scarlet.
Belki bir ara yalnız kalıp konuşuruz Yona.
as it pleases you, my lord.
Vallahi beni
I
memnun
think
eder.
perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Çalışma odasına gidiyorlar. Biz de size
Good
gidelim. bari.
evening, your lordship.
Ama ilk önce bir annemizle konuşalım. Bu ne? Satranç mı bu? Galiba. Satranç oynamayı severim bu arada. Kaydet.
You should say goodbye to Fergus while you have the chance.
Yaparız be anne. Neden babam ve Fergus'a gidemiyorum?
I know it's difficult to stay in the castle and watch others ride off, but we must see to our duties first. You understand that, don't you?
Vallahi anlıyorum,
Trust me.
açıkça söyleyeyim.
You'll
Burada
get your chance for
birisinin
excitement
kalması
soon
lazım.
enough.
Karenin komutasını alması lazım. Fergus. Burada bir Grey Mouse olduğunu biliyorum. Sen kalede mi koyuyorsun?
For a few days. Then I'll travel with Lady Landra to her estate and keep her company for a time. Your
Ha.
father thinks my presence here might undermine your authority.
Ha. Vereceğim kararları karışmasın diye annemizi yolluyor babam. Mantıklı. Kadınlar ortaçağ politikasını çok rahat yönlendirebiliyor çünkü. Ama ben gerektiğini düşünmüyorum. İradeye sahip, ya irade sahibi biriyim
Don't
çünkü.
worry, my dear. It won't be long.
Gri muhafızlar
Yes, your
var
father
burada.
mentioned that. You haven't got it into your head that you want to be recruited.
Vallahi Kara Nesil geri döndü. Gri muhafızlara ihtiyaç var.
There's enough here at the castle to occupy you. I don't need you off chasing danger like your brother.
Fergus nerede var? İçinde kötü bir
As
his
do I.
var.
Your father and brother are marching off to fight Maker knows what. All
Burada
the
yaratıcıya
assurances in the
dünyada
world don't
Maker
comfort me,
diyorlar.
but it wouldn't help
God
us to
falan
take up
demiyorlar
arms and
yani.
follow. Fergus and your father
Özel
have
isim
their
gibi bir şey
duty and
galiba.
we have ours.
Maker. Fergus
If he's
nerede?
not out with his men, probably upstairs with Oriana.
Vereyim ana.
I love you, my darling boy. You know that, don't you?
Bilmez miyim? Ben seni
Go
seviyorum.
do what you must then. I will see you soon.
Eğer oyunu beni izledikten sonra oynamaya karar verirseniz muhtemelen aynı görüntü
Mutlu oldum. Şimdi kanala abone ol, beğen, like at, yorum at,